Sterlin, could you talk a little bit about your history with Coach Blesh, working with him, and your philosophies together?
Yeah, so it goes all the way back to 2005 when I was an analyst at the University of Houston and Mike was playing. So that's when the original relationship started. And then we were high school coaches together right there at the back end of Abilene Cooper and then at Temple High School. And then in 2015, when I was offensive coordinator at Tulsa, Mike was our O-line analyst.
Okay.
So it goes all the way back, and it just, I mean, how we run the football, our thoughts and, philosophy on that, just the speed and tempo that we play at, and just the whole concept-wise of what we're trying to get accomplished offensively.
And are you guys going to be doing sort of a dual play calling role, or are you just going to be chipping in?
Yeah, Mike's the offensive. He's the offense coordinator and play caller, and then be in charge of pass game and what we're doing on that end of it. And again, just we know what that mesh looks like and how that works from a pass game and run game standpoint. So we work well together.
Okay.
What's your impression of what this team was doing last year, and maybe what you guys want to keep, what you guys want to change a little bit?
Yeah, we definitely got some new wrinkles that are going to come in, and especially continuing through spring and summer and into fall camp. I've seen some of last year, but really just focused on the new installs and some new ideas and thoughts that we have and things that we've watched and seen that we like to input and install, and some of those things are out there today, and especially over the next 15 days as we go through spring ball.
Can you talk about the relative skills of Mendoza and Rogers?
That's going to be a learning process. It's obviously the first time you get out here for practice and seeing these guys live in the color when the bullets are kind of flying. So that part of it was good today to get that on tape and see our anticipation, see where you're at read-wise and react-wise. So for both of those guys, I like both of those guys' skill set. They are similar. They do have a little bit of differences as well. And I believe I'm still in the phase of learning those guys. Just kind of see exactly what their strengths are and what those guys do at their best.
Can you point out some of their differences?
Right now, Fernando, the thing, I'll start with some similarities first. They played a lot of ball. That's the one thing about both of them. They got quite a bit of experience underneath their belt, especially Chandler. Chandler's an older guy, but things they both anticipate well. They both can spin it. As far as athletic ability, similar. Very similar. So I think we'll just continue to evaluate and see as the spring goes on. Exactly what those differences can be.
What appealed to you most about the situation, just for you personally in your career?
Yeah, being back with Coach Blesh, a guy just like we just talked about, philosophy is very similar, same page type mentality, and then being around Coach Wilcox. Coach Wilcox is great. It's been a great opportunity to be coming out on the West Coast. I've been very blessed and fortunate to coach all through the country, and this is my first time on the West Coast, so that aspect of it as well. But the combination of Coach Wilcox and Coach Blesh is really what drew me out here. It's been good. It's been good. Obviously our guys are great. Our coaching staff's great. The alumni that I've had an opportunity to meet has been very, very great as well. So I'm excited about it. Obviously the weather and everything is starting to shine this way, so that part of it's nice. But yeah, my time so far in Berkeley's been great.
You were at Syracuse for a couple of years. Anything distinctive about ACC football, style-wise?
Nothing that necessarily just jumps out. Joining that conference. Obviously really good football teams. There's a couple of those teams jump out at you. Florida State and NC State. Clemson, those guys, they've done a really good job in that conference. Play really good football. Just as conferences are across the country, that's another conference that's a tough conference.
What kind of advantage is it to have a quarterback who started games here last year and knows a good amount of the personnel?
Yeah, I think that's huge, and I think that part of it, the aspect of knowing the personnel is very beneficial. I think the biggest part you can go to with both of those guys is they both play football. They got quite a bit of experience under their belt, and that's something that's irreplaceable. So excited about that we're able to coach that and coach through that, because when you got a guy that's experienced, even though both of those guys are in a learning phase with some new things, you're also not having to coach some things you would with the younger guys. So that aspect of it's been beneficial for us and positive going forward for both Chandler and Fernando.
Has Fernando been living in your and Coach Blesh's office?
Yeah, both of those guys have. They're both guys that are eager about learning. They want to learn. They want to be coached. you know, which is awesome. I mean, that's huge. That's a great characteristic to have as a quarterback. And with the new install and the things we're doing, yes, they have been around a lot, which is fine with us. We want those guys around.
Have they been working with the receivers a lot in the off season, especially with a lot of new guys?
Yeah, those
here?
guys have taken on those leadership roles. I mean, those guys I know, you know, came and organized their throws and what they've done. So yeah, both of those guys have done that, and I mean, been obviously responsive from the receivers and the backs and the tight ends. Those guys come out here and do it.